Hello friends, and welcome to a short video where I want to take you through calculating and understanding your card of the year for 2023 in this case, but actually this video is going to be applicable for every new year. So if you want to use the same video next year and the year after and the year after, you absolutely can. So we want to look at calculating and understanding your tarot card of the year. So I'm going to take you through the whole process. So what is your tarot card of the year? You may be wondering, you may be asking. So your tarot card of the year is a single tarot card which we take from the major arcana portion only, and it gives you basically an outline of the year in question. It gives you an outline, it describes, or if I can say, it describes the year ahead for you, the kind of things that you're going to be encountering, the kind of experiences that you're going to be having, the theme that will run through the entire year for you. This is calculated based on only your date of birth. So you only need your date of birth. And actually, when I say date of birth, it's only the day and the month. We don't worry about the year that you were born. That doesn't matter. And we use this information with the year in question, in this particular case, 2023. And we add all the numbers together, and this calculates the card of the year, your tarot card of the year, which is going to give you, as I say here, a clear picture of the energy for or of the year ahead. It's also going to outline and give you the lessons, the experiences, as well as a description of the journey that you are embarking on for the entire year. And it's also going to highlight where your focus needs to be. So a lot of information from a single card, and each one's is going to be different. And some years you're going to find it goes just to the next tarot card, and sometimes it switches around completely. So it is worthwhile to do this calculation for yourself every single year, based on day of birth, month of birth, and the year in question. So let's get straight into it and see what the next step is. Right, so let's have a look. What do you need in order to do this? So the first thing that you need is your birth date, but you only need the day and the month of your birth. We don't need to know how old you are. So the year that you were born in does not matter, just the day and the month of your birth. You will also need the year in question, in this particular case, 2023. So if you are coming back to this video in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, you will need that year. So it's the year that you are looking at, the year that you are trying to work out your tarot card of the year for. So in this particular case, we're doing 2023. And the other thing that you need is a little bit of pen and paper, unless you are the kind of person who can do the mental math in your head. I can't do that. So I need the pen and paper. So you need a bit of pen and paper to work out a very little sum, a little bit of maths, and that's it. That's all you need. All right, so let's have a look at the calculation in question, the actual calculation itself. So we're going to start off with writing down your details. So you're going to write down in this box, so you can just on your piece of paper, or you can do it in your head, write down your day, your month, and then the year in question, 2023. When you write the day and the month down, write it down as a 2-digit number. So if you're born in February, for example, you're going to write it as 02. If you are born on the 8th of a month, you're going to write it as 08. Okay, so you fill it in there and you add up all the numbers together and you get a total. So here is an example, just to make it a little bit clearer for you. In the example, you can see here I have somebody who was born on the 21st of August. So we go 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3, and that gives us a grand total of 18. And that is the number that we are looking for. So you're looking for that number 18, or whatever number you would get. All right, so pause here if you need to. Do whatever you have to. Pause here if you need to, and go and do your math. Only carry on once you've got that number. Do not go beyond this part unless you've actually calculated. Pen and paper works. And like I said, break it down into individuals. So make sure that your day and your month are written as a 2-digit number, as separate them, and then add it all together and come up with your final, and then you can move on. So you've done your math, Have you got your number? Let's have a look. Just a little bit of guidance here, because you may need to go back a little bit. Let's have a look. So once you've added up all your numbers, all right, you've got them all down to a single number. You want to make sure that your answer, your final result, is a number of 22 or less. So it can be 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 22. If your number is 22 or more, you need to take those numbers. So if you've come up with 26 as an example, you're then going to take your 2 and your 6. You're going to add them together to get 8. So, but if you've got 22 or below, then that is your number that you're going to stick with. But if your maths has come up with anything greater than 22, add those two numbers together once more. And once you have this number of 22 or less, we then have the major arcana card that it relates to within the tarot system. So let's have a look. So here I have listed all the major arcana cards that are applicable and appropriate. So from card 1 all the way through to card 22. So if you know what your number is, you can see then which tarot card it is relating to. If you do not know tarot, if tarot is something that is not familiar to you or comfortable for you, that's okay. I'm going to give you all the information that you need. You will note though, for those of you who do understand the tarot system or do read tarot, you will see that I have got card 0 actually as card 22. And that's because no math is ever going to give you card 0. So that's why we've taken the card of the full card 0 and stuck it at the end as 22. So for me, 2023, I am going into the year of the devil. My number is 15. So my tarot card of 2023 is the devil card. So I'm going to give you that information of what that means for 2023 or whatever year in question you are doing. So make a note, write it down somewhere what your tarot card of the year is. Let's have a look and see what it means. So now that you know what your tarot card of the year is, let's look to see what that might mean for you. So over the next few slides, I'm going to show you a picture of the card. Just for those of you who don't have your own tarot set, I'm going to show you a picture of the card, and I'm going to give you a short description of what the card of the year it means. Okay, so one thing that you need to understand is that during the year, I mean, like, what do we do with this information? How does this help you? How does knowing your tarot card of the year offer you anything? So from now on, when you're in the year in question, every time you come up against a problem, a challenge, or something that you're uncertain about, if you come back to the card of the year, remind yourself what your card of the year was, you'll actually be quite surprised as to how it gives you insight, clarity, and guidance on how to tackle whatever it is that the year is throwing at you. So sometimes, sometimes we feel quite overwhelmed and think, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Or you ask yourself, like, why is this happening? Or why am I having this experience? Your tarot card of the year, you'll be amazed as to how much information and insight and guidance it can offer you for the year ahead. In the same sense, your card of the year can also include the lessons and the experiences that you need to endure during this year. So in my opinion, I always say, you know what, it might be a better idea to know the lessons that you need to learn, to know the experiences that you need to have, and get them over and done with, so that the rest of your year can just be sort of smooth sailing, that you won't have any challenges and problems. So understanding what the lessons of the year is, the things that you need to grasp and understand so that we can sort it out and get it done early on, means that the rest of the year is going to be simple, easy, and uncomplicated, which is fabulous as far as I'm concerned. So now let's look at each of the cards individually to see what they may be bringing you. Obviously, I am going to give you 22 cards and 22 interpretations, but you only need to read one. Okay, so if you want to read them all, of course you're welcome to, but actually you only need to read the one that is applicable and appropriate to you. So at this point, I'm actually going to stop talking, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you each of the cards. I will leave them on screen for maybe 5 seconds each, but obviously if you need more time than that to read, pause, read, take it all in, but you're going to have to sort of just scroll through until you find your card. They will be in order, starting with the Magician and ending with the Fool card. So that same order that I gave you a little bit earlier on, they'll all be in that same order. So you can just play with the video, fast forward until you find your one in question, and you can read it up. Obviously, you can read up on your friends and your family and, you know, anybody else that is relevant to you to see what they're dealing with. If you find, for example, it's quite interesting, if you look at your partner, if you look at your children, if you look at your siblings even, and you know what kind of year they're going through, it'll also help you to understand how best to handle them, how best to approach them, and how best to give good or bad news when you know what kind of a year they're in. So it's very handy, this information. And like I said, this is applicable, and you can use this year on year on year on year out. So I'm going to stop talking. You will not see or hear from me again. I'm going to give you the 22 cards, and I do hope that it gives you good guidance and inspiration for the year ahead. So lots of love and blessings to each one of you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll chat again soon.